Hello everybody, welcome to another Saturday vlog. If you're watching this, that means it's Saturday, and over here currently it's Friday evening because tomorrow I'll be out and about, so I won't have time to quickly make a vlog, edit and upload it and make the thumbnail, etc. Because even though the video is only about 10 minutes, usually, thank you for jumping off the couch in the middle of that. Usually the whole process takes at least an hour, and on Saturday morning I just want to chill. And I don't want to rush things out. So that's that. And otherwise, we're doing okay. Everything over here is fine. We've had a press conference the other day stating that we're going to get more stricter regulations regarding the use of masks, which we also talked about on the Minecraft stream as well on Friday evening. So starting the 5th of August, we're going to be wearing more masks, in particular in the busy areas of Rotterdam and Amsterdam, and also I heard Inge say in stores, but I'm trying to find like a complete list of where we're supposed to wear masks now, so that I always know where I need to have masks on me. Because so far we have the public transport system, currently the only place where it's actually mandatory. And I believe also government buildings, if you want to go to like downtown hall for a new passport or something, you need to wear a mask there too. Those were the main areas where it was mandatory, but now included are the main areas, the shopping areas of Rotterdam and Amsterdam, and maybe stores, but the maybe stores part, I don't know if it's going to be stores there or stores everywhere. No idea, so I'm going to try to find a website that really states like this is the rule for here, here, here. And that's what we're going to do. Meanwhile, of course, there's two risks with that. Everybody knows that when they wear a mask, it makes them a little more careless. They think, oh well, I'm well protected now, I could just run around and do whatever I want. I don't have to be so far away from people because the mask will protect me from the coronavirus, etc. On the other hand, what we've also been seeing, of course, is a decrease in the sticking to the distance rule, the social distancing ruling. Increasing amounts of people feel like it doesn't really matter, it doesn't help, etc. because they don't think that the coronavirus is super dangerous or anything like that. But the thing is, let's just say for a second that the coronavirus is not as dangerous as it is. I'd rather have spent my time keeping my distance from people and wearing a mask for, I guess, eventually for nothing than potentially by coming too close to people as though nothing were wrong, make people sick who then die as a result of the coronavirus, the COVID-19 illness that is. So I don't really mind walking around with a mask every once in a while, or staying like 6 feet away or 1.5 meters if possible, because sometimes it's very difficult to do even that. If it helps to protect somebody, you don't know, because you don't know who you're infecting, you don't know if you're infecting or infected yourself until much later. And of course, there is this thing, like the procedure is, if you're not feeling well, you should stay home, you should get tested. That's from what I hear, most people find it a somewhat uncomfortable test that they do, because you drive over to this testing area, you line up in a very long line. I hear they have, like, I believe in the area here they can process 750 people at a time, and what they do is once it's your turn, you drive up to the person with the things, and I think they stick either one long thing in your nose or in the back of your throat, or maybe they have two separate ones for both locations. I don't know. I think every testing place seems to have their own way for doing it. Maybe it depends on what type of tests they're using. No idea. The thing about the tests, though, is that it can take quite some time before a test becomes positive, even if the person does have COVID-19. I don't know exactly how that works. Of course, I'm not a doctor, so no idea why certain patients do show positivity, others don't, even though they are both ill. I guess that COVID-19 can be in different areas of the body or something, or maybe it takes a while in certain people to really show, no idea. So you could go there one day with a cough and everything and have a fever and test negative, but still have it. So, And then people think, well, actually it said that I'm negatively tested, so I can just go to the store and grab some groceries, it's all fine, I just have a bit of a dry cough. And then while you're there shopping for your bread and stuff like that, you're infecting people by not keeping your distance properly, or people not keeping their distance from you properly, because that's often the case. Like I was saying during the stream, you'll walk down a sidewalk which is maybe 2 meters wide. You don't necessarily want to run into the road because you don't know what's behind you, etc. Or there's just traffic coming. And even though you walk to the edge of the sidewalk, there are still people who will just completely ignore your efforts to create distance, just keep walking the same trajectory that they had before, which would make it so that you're within the social distancing range. And no care in the world as far as they're concerned. So they just keep doing things. And some people actually look at you funny when you do that, like, oh my god, I'm not that infectious or something like that. Like the other day, I was walking the dog in Monday morning, and I was usually, when I'm standing there with the dog is like on the edge of the grass. Usually she doesn't tend to go onto the grass much, she just like hovers around the edge because she thinks it's too cold or wet or something. She really hates water, so anything that feels somewhat cold, she's not going to go for it. Anyway, so when somebody comes cycling past, I usually go to the edge of the grass as well. So like not on the grass necessarily, not running away from people, but I am giving the maximum amount of space on the bicycle path that we have. So I just move to the side. And people usually don't really care too much. Some people don't do the same for me. Other people actually say thanks and stuff like that. There's like a very mixed reaction. But last Monday I did the same thing because this woman was coming from like around the corner. I stepped to the edge, and she like, as she's passing, she goes, oh my god, like something like that. And she's like mumbling something. I don't know what she said exactly, but it's, I think along the lines of, oh, not that infectious, or oh, that was a bit of overreaction, or something. Like I'm personally offending her by trying to get out of the way. It's like, okay, wow, whatever. I didn't even like look at her or anything. I just kind of glanced and I saw somebody in like the corner of my eye, so I automatically go to the edge of the grass, and I'm not even like looking at them or anything like that. So they're just triggered by the fact that I'm moving aside or something. I don't know. Some people have issues. Anyway, so on to happier news. I've got my holiday going, first week now, and of course next week is going to start soon. And so far it's been like a bunch of fortunate circumstances, particularly the last couple of days. Like the weather's been really good, first of all, and the week before the weather wasn't super great. We had some rainy days. It started off kind of rainy in the weekend as well, which was just as well, because sometimes when you were like the first couple of days of the holiday, you might have to acclimatize to the fact that you don't have to go to work and stuff. And sometimes people get headaches in those days as well, because all the stress that they've been pushing off during the work hours, they just kind of like suddenly come towards you because, oh, we have a moment to rest. Let's deal with all this nonsense then. So I did have like a couple of days where I had like a stiff neck and stuff like that. Not really a headache, but also not feeling great, just like one of those days. And as soon as I was done doing that, the weather suddenly got better, and like Monday afternoon I think it started to get better, and I started to get better as well. And all the days since then I've just been making sure to go out and do something at least. I've been doing a lot of walking, like I said I was going to do, and also I wanted to go to another town today to look at the thrift store that they have there, because apparently they have a really large thrift store there as well. So I went and fished out my OV card, my public transport card, and it just so happens that today was also the last day that I could use it. So I was like, okay, great, I better get this thing going, because it's the last day I can use this card, or I can charge it on it, because you have to charge the card and then you can get onto the train. Also, I figured out today how you can get the money back that's on the card that's expired, because I didn't know they had that option. Previously, you had to register it on your name, like on your account with the public transport company, and then it would be possible to get a refund. But now you can just get a refund from a card that's expired, and that's just as well, because by the time that I got done traveling, I still had about 14 euros on there. 14, sorry, not 40. So even though it's not a whole lot of money, it's still money that I put on there and that I'm not going to be able to use now that the card is expired. So I want that back. Also, I found an older card that I bought before the one that's currently expired, which expired last year. And the rules for the reclaiming thing on that website say that if the card has expired within the year, you can just get it back. And if it's like less than 50 euros, you can just like enter some information, the card number, and then they can send you the money back. And this card, even though it was fairly old, it was still within that year limit. It's like, okay, great, so I know how to get the money back. I also have this card here ready to go, and I've got another card that's like within that time frame as well, and I've managed to reclaim that one then. And tomorrow I have to reclaim the other one, because apparently you can't send the claim in until it's absolutely definitely expired, which is tomorrow. So that's another thing. And tomorrow I'm going to go to Rotterdam, and we don't have to wear masks yet because that starts on the 5th of August. So we have to go, or at least we're going to go there. We're going to wear some masks in the train, but we won't have to wear them in the stores there or on the streets yet. So we don't have to bother with that. I did bring some extra masks just in case there are like stores that are currently already implementing that rule, because I think stores can tell you to do things like that if they really feel that's necessary within their establishment. So I brought a few extras just to make sure we won't have an issue. But I'm also have to go to convince people to start making their own masks, because like my mother, for instance, is very stubborn and she doesn't want to even buy masks. And I told her last week, like, it's probably gonna get worse, you're gonna have to go get some. And they'll go like, yeah, I guess when it's time I'll go get something. Oh, we're not gonna go anywhere anyway. But you never know if you're gonna go somewhere. And that's why I also have like an extra bunch of like store-bought masks in my work bag, just in case I lose the one that I made myself. Like, I usually bring one extra in the bag, so I have one for the train trip home. But you never know if you're going to, like, I don't know, accidentally spill some water on it or whatever. And I don't want to get stranded because I have to go find a mask at the very last minute. Which is then, of course, going to be bought at a premium. And even though the bought masks that I have right now weren't cheap either, they were at least at a nice markdown value. Or at least one I bought like a big box, which is also a little bit cheaper. And another one was actually just like 40% off for some reason. I guess they wanted more people to buy masks. They're perfectly good, so I don't know why. But anyway, so I have like extras just in case, so I don't get stranded anywhere. And I think other people should do the same, because you never know. You could be having like tons of extra masks and then at the end of the day. But better too many than none at all, as always. Just like I would rather keep my distance than end up making somebody sick because I'm being careless. I don't want that on my conscience, so I don't care if you think that makes me look silly for trying to keep distance from people or wearing a mask in certain places, whatever. I don't want to make your grandpa sick, so you might want to also consider that as well. Or you might end up making other people's grandpas sick or grandmas, and they might not recover, because a lot of times these people, they feel like, oh, it's not that bad, and if I catch it, it's not going to be an issue for me because I'm young, I'm healthy, and I have no immunocompromised things going on, and I'll be fine. But you're not stopping to think about the people who might catch it from you then and not be fine and end up dying because of it. So that's very selfish, and I think that needs to stop. Even if it turns out that it's not that dangerous, you don't want to run the risk that you're wrong about it being not that dangerous and then infecting people regardless. So there's that. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to continue my holiday. I'm going to have some fun. I'll see about where I'm going to travel next, of course. Next week, I think my VR headset's coming in. I've already spotted a few games that I already have that are VR enabled, so I can start playing those immediately. And I want to play things like Job Simulator and all those things as well. I think I saw one with like a wizard simulator or something along those lines. I'll try out all sorts of VR games and have a lot of fun that way, and it'll be perfectly safe and healthy. And I'll report on that as well if I manage to tear myself away from the VR landscape. No idea, probably will. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you'll stay safe and make sure to make smart decisions. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.